You might find yourself wondering why we have the books of Chronicles in addition to the books of Kings, because in many ways their accounts sound very similar. So let's ask the question, why would God use precious space in the Bible to preserve accounts in two different books that are relatively the same? The answer to this question is found in the theological purpose of each book. The books of Kings contain material that's mostly straightforward history. It seeks to make a very simple point, which is basic Old Testament theology. Obedience brings blessing, and disobedience brings the curse. This is foundational to the Mosaic covenants, blessings and curses found in Leviticus 26, Deuteronomy 28 and 29. So, the books of Kings provide a succinct appraisal of each king. They either did good in the eyes of the Lord or evil in the eyes of the Lord. There are a few occasions when the appraisal is that the king did good in the eyes of the Lord, except an exception is usually provided at that point, having something to do with worship at the high places. The books of Chronicles have a different context and a different theological purpose. The target audience is the people who have returned to the land after the exile. These people are under Persian control and they face a country devastated by the Babylonians. The temple is in shambles. The walls and the houses of Jerusalem are in ruins. As the people return, they engage in various building projects as described in the books of Ezra and Nehemiah. However, they experience opposition, resulting in several setbacks. They are discouraged, defeated, and growing in despondency. Then, prophets like Haggai and Zechariah and leaders like Ezra and Nehemiah encourage them to remain steadfast in purpose. Even so, the people continue to struggle. This post-exilic audience needs to be reminded of the history of Israel's kingdom, but they need this history to be written in a manner that will encourage them in their post-exilic context, specifically their struggles in completing the temple. So, the books of Chronicles are written with this audience in mind. The theological focus of this particular history of Israel's kingdom is specifically on the role that the worship of the Lord played in the outpouring or withholding of the Lord's blessings. Whenever a king led the people into proper worship of the Lord, keeping their eyes on him, the people prospered. In addition, whenever the king led the people out of disobedience into revival, where their hearts were turned back to the Lord, the fortunes of the people also turned as the Lord once again poured out his favor on them. As the post-exilic people would read this history, they would be encouraged to respond similarly and get their act together, so to speak. They would sense the urgency to rebuild the temple so that proper worship could be restored, and so the Lord could assume his proper place in their community. The purpose of this history was to ignite a passion to worship the Lord in his holiness.